guys, it's Freezer here with A-Spec Airsoft, and today I have a very special review of the Magpul licensed G&P MASADA, also known as the Advanced Combat Rifle. This is a very popular weapon due to the recent release of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and so there are very few of these available, so we're very lucky to have one. So, let's open up the box. So after you take the external cardboard box off, you have this nice styrofoam box, and on top of the styrofoam box there is A-Spec Airsoft warranty, blah blah blah, 30 days, call the number if you have questions. A-Spec Airsoft chronoed inspection sheet, chronoed at 370 to 380 with .2s and was tested and inspected by Adam. An Advanced Combat Rifle manual. This is very poorly translated English and is very hard to read. It looks like the background's made of like shredded paper. It's really hard to read. Anyway, very poorly translated, and there's even something, there's some funny things in here. I'm going to show you one of them right now. It tells you how to operate your buttstock. Now that we got all the paperwork and the styrofoam top off the box, this is what you should see. Inside the styrofoam there is a front handguard, an extremely nice 130 round mid-cap all-metal M4 magazine, a 330 round PMag, a black Noveski sound amplifier, very nicely detailed rear sight, and your Magpul MASADA. So now let's talk a little bit about the history behind the Magpul MASADA. The MASADA is based off of the ACR, which is an adaptive combat rifle. It's a production name for the updated version of the MASADA adaptive combat weapons system. In late January 2008, Bushmaster entered into a licensing agreement with Magpul, where Bushmaster would take over production, future development, and sales of the MASADA. It's a patent-pending self-loading rifle platform designed by Magpul Industries of Erie, Colorado. It was developed over a period of 4 months, completely independent from government funding. Prototypes were first displayed in 2007 at the SHOT Show in Orlando, Florida, and was scheduled for release in the second quarter of 2008. However, Bushmaster announced in May 16th of 2008 that consumer release would be delayed until quarter 1 of 2009 because they wanted to focus on some military applications. In November 2008, Bushmaster said that the ACR is being redesigned to be a superior offering to compete for the next generation of U.S. Army. Now that we're done talking about the history of the real MASADA, let's talk about the features of the Airsoft MASADA. An 8-point retractable stock, which also folds over by pushing this button here, and comes to rest right here. Keep in mind though, it doesn't have a point to lock into, so it's not that secure, so just be careful with this. Flip up front and rear sights. A working bolt catch. Pull the bolt back, and to release it, you slide this lever down right here. Also, if you pull the bolt back, you will expose the hop-up unit, which is right here. This clear part right here. You push it towards the back of the gun for no hop, and towards the front of the gun for hop.
What? He's still alive? Snap. No. Open. Shut. Ignition. No, it's not like William. No. Wait! Use my .6.
The fire selector switch on this gun is ambidextrous. I'm pushing it from the opposite side. Safe, semi, and fully automatic. This gun also has an ambidextrous mag release. There's mag release here, as well on the other side of the gun. There's mag release there. Magazine comes out, put it right back in. So these are the sights on the Magpul MASADA. You can see they're flip up, and they come to rest right here. They are very similar to the FN SCAR sights. This gun is also stamped by Magpul. You can see on the holographic sticker right there, there's a Magpul symbol. It says Magpul, and an individual serial number, 00003018. For the sling points on the MASADA, there are two. They are both on the stock. There is one right here, which is metal that is inlaid into the actual stock. The other one right here is a very thick polymer. So now that we're done talking about the features of the Magpul MASADA, let's talk about the metal and polymer components to the weapon. So for the metal parts on this gun, they include the upper receiver and rails, the bolt, the actual charging lever, the front and rear sights, the sling mount in the back of the stock, the Noveski sound amplifier, the trigger, the fire selector switch, the mag release, and the bolt catch. Everything else on the gun is made of polymer, which is faithful to the real version of the MASADA. The front hand grip is made of polymer, the lower receiver, the trigger guard, the P-mag, the pistol grip, and the stock are all made of polymer. Now we'll go over to Delta 1 for the internal reports for the Magpul MASADA.
Hi, I'm extremely happy because we have a G&P gun, and G&P is better than KWA internals. However, it does use their famous M120 high-speed motor, which is a long type, so this is a version 2, has the elongated air nozzle from an SR25, and has 8mm ball bearings. Now, the G&P pistons are by far the best pistons on the market that you can get that are polycarb. I've seen reviews where someone's been shooting 7,500 rounds at 500 FPS plus with very little wear. That's extremely good, and the piston only costs you $20. So the gears are great. The shimming is amazingly good on G&P, and that's why G&P has got such a high rate of fire and a really high reliability rate. Now, the inner barrel is 14.5 inches long, so if you want to get a tight bore, which would actually be one of the, this gun is already accurate enough, but if you want to get right on the bunt at 400, just buy a tight bore, like a 6.3, and you'll be good to go for field. And just G&P is amazing. Love G&P. You can't beat their internals for the price. So, over to you, Freezer.
Thank you, Delta 1, for the internal reports. Now for the final conclusion. G&P has made a very, very nice MASADA. It's licensed by Magpul, which is also very nice. The build quality is very, very nice. It's good for many situations with its folding stock and extendable stock, so CQB or field or whatever. The sights on the top fold over, so it's also very nice if you want to mount your own optics or whatever on there. You don't have to use the iron sights.